Hi, I'm RJ Murdock, and welcome to our Emerald Coast community, a show that likes to highlight the businesses, organizations, and people that are making a difference in our community. I have with me today a special guest. This is Erin Thatcher with the Arc of the Emerald Coast. Not only is she our guest representing a nonprofit, she is also going to be our co-host and correspondent for the nonprofits in the community. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, RJ, for having me here. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to co-hosting and getting to meet all of our local nonprofits here on our Emerald Coast TV community.
Now, the reason why I asked you to kind of come on board and to be a co-host is because you're actually involved in the Fort Walton Beach Chamber in one of the committees. What's the name of the committee, and what is it that you guys do? Well,
last year, and what we've been known as is the Community Outreach Committee. But this year, just in January, we actually changed our name to the Care Committee. It was getting confused a lot with other committees that were going on, and we didn't feel like it really expressed who we were as a group. So Care actually stands for Community Alliance for Resources and Engagement. So we're a bunch of nonprofits. We welcome board members, volunteers, anybody interested to come out. We have guest speakers monthly to kind of fulfill little intricacies that we might be missing as a nonprofit, more information we might need. But we also want our community to support us and board members to be actively engaged, and so to come on out and see what's going on.
And that works perfectly with what this show is trying to do. And the reason you kind of got involved is because you are involved with one of our local nonprofits, the Arc of the Emerald Coast. Tell us a little bit about the Arc, and then I want you to kind of tell me a little bit about how you came on board. Okay,
so the Arc of the Emerald Coast is a nonprofit, obviously, who serves over 450 men, women, and children in Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, and Walton County with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our services are geared for people with autism, Down syndrome, spina bifida, cerebral palsy, and things like that. We have an early intervention center located on Holmes Boulevard. We have our children's center located on Holmes Boulevard. We have a new aquatic center and dietary center over there as well. We do group homes. We have supported living, supported employment. We have a whole plethora of things going on at the Arc of the Emerald Coast. And we're also a good community resource for people and caregivers who want to find out more as well, how to navigate that world. Personally, as you were asking how I got pulled into the Arc. So my daughter was born with spina bifida about 15 years ago. And I've always been a compassionate person looking, to how to serve. And that's where my heart is. And I think through life and through the challenges that we face, God placed her in my world and knew that is where my intended focus needed to be. And I've always been, for the past 15 years, a parent advocate for her, trying to navigate, like I call it, the tangled web, and understanding how we can get resources for her, how can we understand, how can we support her in school and childcare, and working through this system. So I speak from a voice, networking and in our community and doing events as a parent who's living the life of a person and wanting her to be a strong, independent, successful person as possible.
And it's interesting because I find that usually the people that are involved have somebody in their life that is also dealing with the same thing. It's a hardship that you learn to survive and go beyond that because you want to help others be able to deal with it and not get as stressed, because there are others that are, a support group and a support community that be able to assist you to get through and actually make a person with these challenges have a life that's meaningful.
Absolutely, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more on that.
So I noticed that you had mentioned a few of your facilities, and one of them was the Aquatic Center.
Yes.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
And on the side of the building, it also says the Destined Charity Wine Auction. I know there are events and organizations out there in the community that will be doing charitable events and being able to spread some of that, the funds that they've been able to raise to the local charities. Tell us a little bit about them and how important that is.
Destin Charity Wine Auction Foundation, Impact 100, those are the two organizations that helped really bring into focus our motives behind the Aquatic Center. Nowhere in our community, actually I believe in potentially 4 counties, is there no one facility that actually is designed and geared to addressing aquatic and exercise needs for persons with disabilities. So clearly, from the ARC perspective, we wanted to address this. Through the Impact 100 grant, we were able to take those funds and make this amazing vision a reality, and through Destin Charity Wine Auction as well. Annually, we are supported through the Destin Charity Wine Auction Foundation. Impact 100 supports every year there's a grant that they give, I think, 4 to 5 grants to, depending upon their membership. And that organization is wonderful in who they support as well. And then also the Emerald Coast Parrotheads and other charity organizations that we partner with, we're able to raise funds, and then we do our own events and stuff with the Arc of the Emerald Coast. So, but without them, our mission and who we serve and the parents that we touch, the families that we mentor and support wouldn't be possible.
All right, but let's go ahead, and if somebody is watching this program, watching this video, and they're having someone in their life that is dealing with a challenging individual or family member, how would they contact and get a hold of your organization, and who should they call or go to? Where do they go to?
Okay. If you have a question, if you are an individual that has a child, just recently found out that they were diagnosed, maybe even in utero. I was fortunate enough to find out in utero that my daughter was going to be born with disabilities, and you're a caregiver, and you're taking in custody of a child or an adult with a special need, contact our organization. You can go to our website. It's www.arcoftheemeraldcoast.org. You can give us a call. Our phone number is 850-863-1530. And reach out to us and see where we can kind of help place you as far as a particular question. You can also email us at info@arcemeraldcoast.org. But we're trying to, get out in the community. Like I said, we have our children's center that is an inclusive child care center. We do have early intervention. Our children's center does take up to school-age children up to age 14. And if you have a unique need or special need, you can reach out to them right now for children. And then adult-wise, there's a whole other world I can get on my soapbox about, but there's a good start.
That's wonderful. We're going to go ahead and take a break here shortly. Okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this introduction of you as a new co-host, and also as a member of one of our nonprofits. But you're going to get a chance to go ahead and interview one of our guests waiting in our green room, from the Emerald Coast Parrotheads, about their upcoming events. So I'm going to thank you for doing that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm so excited to introduce them. When you presented me with this opportunity to come talk to you and the folks, I definitely wanted to jump on that opportunity, because who they serve and what their mission is to party with a purpose. I mean, how much fun, come on, don't we all want to go out to an event or hang out in a social setting and kind of enjoy ourselves and also give. But every year they give to the Arc of the Emerald Coast through their annual Chilli Cookoff. So this year it is at a new location at the Destin Commons.
And we're going to learn more about that.
Absolutely.
People stay tuned.
I am super excited.
So look for that video segment, and I'd like to thank you for joining us today. And Erin, thank you for coming on board to being our co-host. Stay tuned for more from our Emerald Coast community.
Welcome to our Emerald Coast community. I am your co-host, Erin Thatcher, and today I am here with Tracy from the Emerald Coast Parrothead Club. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the Emerald Coast Parrotheads. Absolutely.
Well, we're an organization. We're based in Destin, but it's the whole area, and we party with a purpose, and that purpose is to raise money for different charities throughout the year. Like last year, I think we raised over 20,000 just out of our small little group,
Oh,
which is not that small. It's over 100, but that's a lot of money for 100 people.
Absolutely, it is. So is the Emerald Coast Parrothead Club an actual nonprofit as well?
We are a nonprofit.
And your mission is to what?
Party with a purpose. So we get together and we have a good time, and strangers become great friends partying, or friends bring friends. Everybody is welcome, and we get together twice a month. Our second Friday of every month, we're at Land Sharks, and that's our meeting. People can come there and they can join. It's $25 a person for the year, and you get a badge that has your name on it, and it can be a party name. And then we have meetings, or they're called flockings, on the fourth Friday, and that's at different places around town. And they can join on our website, which is ecparrothead.org, or they can go to our Facebook page at Emerald Coast Parrothead. That's it, and you pull that up and Facebook comes on.
Okay, so they can really private message y'all on Facebook, yes, or email y'all.
Yes.
And it's $25 a year.
Yes.
And you party with a purpose.
Yes.
And I heard y'all give to about 6 local charities every year. 5
to 6 local charities throughout the year. We raise, at least generally $500 a month through our raffles and such at our meetings and flockings. And then once a year, about May, we have a concert, and that raises more money. In December, we had a concert benefit. It was at Margaritaville.
Oh, wow.
And we raised, I think, about $3,000 for the Hurricane Michael. We've done Alzheimer's walks. Throughout the year, we take many out. I think they bought like 49 bikes for children at Christmas.
Oh, wow.
A certain group does that. So we look for opportunities to help. And then, of course, we've got the Chilli Cookoff at Destin Commons coming up February 23rd.
Right, and that's a new location this year.
Brand new.
And y'all been doing it for how many years?
I think 5 years we've done it for, the Chilli Cookoff.
The Chilli Cookoff. Yeah. I know it 5 years over at the Harbor Walk, but this year is a new location at
the Destin Commons. On Main Street.
Okay.
We'll have 2 separate entrances. It's $15 a person to get in ahead of time.
Okay.
Or at the gate it'll be $20. Okay. And it's free chili unlimited. Free dancing and music. The music's flash flood. You can purchase beer from, I think World of Beers will be there, and then different restaurants, many vendors like Land Sharks, Bucks, World of Beer. There'll be about 17 vendors with different chilies, and you get to vote.
Oh, wow. So, and that raises money for a charity I'm familiar with, the Arc of the Emerald Coast. Now, if somebody wanted to participate as far as a vendor, they have two ways to do that. They can reach out to y'all, or they can reach out to the Arc of the Emerald Coast. And there's some guidelines for participating, but it's actually free to participate, and they get a reimbursement. Is that correct?
Well, I believe it's $75 to participate.
Okay, they get a reimbursement of $75, correct? And then, if they wanted to taste the chili and sample and participate that way, it's $15 ahead of time, or $20
at the door.
And they can get tickets by coming to your meetings?
They can come to our meetings. They can contact us, and we can figure out how to get them tickets. They can go to eventbrite.com, and if they type in Destin Chilli Cookoff February 23rd, it'll pop up, and they can purchase them right there.
Oh, wow.
They can go to our Facebook page, and there should be a link, or our not Facebook, our website. There'll be a link that'll take them to Eventbrite. There's many different ways they can get in touch with us for tickets.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful. And is there anything else that you wanted to let us know about the Parrotheads that's maybe upcoming this year, or things that y'all like to do?
We have a really good time. I mean, we do social things as well. Our goal is to raise, but we go on the, what do you call that, Sea Blaster? We go on the Sea Blaster. We get a boat and go to Crab Island. We have beach cleanups. So I think 4 times a year we go down and we all get together and we clean up the beach, and then we party with purpose. And we'll bring food, and we'll play games, lots of contests. Always something small to win, but it's fun. So we do things like that all through the year.
That sounds wonderful. Well, I wanted to thank you from my organization.
Oh, we're so happy to do it.
To have us benefit from the Chilli Cookoff, and I wanted to thank you also for being here and letting our community know more about the Parrotheads. And
thanks for the opportunity. We're looking for people to come and support us and you and the community and get together, and it should be a good time.
Thank you, Tracy, so much for your information and being here. If you want more information about the Emerald Coast Parrothead Club, go ahead and contact them through Facebook or their website, and we appreciate you being here at our Emerald Coast community.
Welcome to our Emerald Coast community, a show that highlights the businesses, people, and organizations that are making a difference in our community. One of the things I've got an opportunity to get involved with this year is the Leadership Okaloosa Class over at Northwest Florida State College. And it's made up of individuals throughout the community that are learning not only some leadership principles and characteristics and traits, but also a little bit about the leadership in our local governments, from the cities, the towns, all the way up to the state with Tallahassee. The end of the end of the whole class series basically ends up with being 2 days with up there in Tallahassee with the Senate and the House over there. So it's going to be very interesting. One of the exciting things that the class was able to do, or been tasked to do, is provide a kind of a overview of the local governments, the city governments. A lot of us attended the city councils for local towns from Fort Walton to Destin to Niceville to Crestview, the Shalimar, Valparaiso, and then provide the class with a presentation about what we learned, not only about how the local government works, but also about the town itself and some of its features, populations, landmarks, and such. Well, I happen to be on a team that happened to have the Town of Shalimar as our project. And instead of just doing a presentation where we just get up in front of everybody with a PowerPoint and we say a few things and it's done, we decided to go ahead and do a video. And our idea is that when we get finished, we were going to create this video so that we could just pass it to the Town of Shalimar so that they could use for their own informational and marketing purposes. So here is the video that was presented on January 29th for the Leadership Okaloosa class about the Town of Shalimar. We hope you enjoy it and learn something. The Town of Shalimar is located in the panhandle of Northwest Florida, between Eglin Air Force Base and Fort Walton Beach. For visitors coming to the area, the town is just a throwaway on their travel towards the beaches of the Emerald Coast. To the residents of South Okaloosa County, it's where they come to pay their taxes or renew their auto registration. To locals, it's where they come to play golf or go boating. And for our military, it's a place to get off the base for a bite to eat. But to the residents of Shalimar, it's a quiet town to retire by the water or to raise a family near good schools.
Surrounded by many beautiful bayous and Choctawhatchee Bay, Shalimar became a city in 1947 and appropriately was named Shalimar, meaning by the beautiful water. It's interesting to note that the word origin of Shalimar is not named from local Native American language, like most names in the area, but is of Lashkari or Urdu descent. Shalimar, Florida is the only Shalimar outside the countries of India and Pakistan. There are 2 cities and principalities and several gardens named Shalimar, one of which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Lahore, Pakistan, built under the rule of Shah Jahan, who commissioned the Taj Mahal for his wife. Inspired by these beautiful gardens, a 1901 poem by Lawrence Hope was set to music. Kashmiri's song soon became a drawing room favorite for parties and local soirees. Additionally, in the 1920s, Jacques Guerlain introduced the perfume Shalimar that was all the rage with flappers, which aided its bad girl reputation. One of the daughters of James E. Plew, founder of Valparaiso, is said to have named Shalimar. It was a well-known name in pop culture at the time, connotating opulence, tranquility, and revelry. Adjectives perfect to describe why Shalimar was incorporated when and why it was.
Several major events shaped the economic and historic landscape of the town of Shalimar. In 1931, Shalimar, known as Port Dixie, captured the eye of many investors and the attention of nearly all of Northwest Florida. It was to be a remarkable commercial industrial complex and chartered as the Port Dixie Harbor and Terminal Company. The venture depended on two things: the growth of the Destiny East Pass to accommodate large sea vessels, and the construction of a railroad that would service the complex. The Corps of Engineers decided that the plan to dredge the Destiny East Pass to accommodate deep water vessels was not feasible. It is unknown if funds for the railroad relied on a positive report by the Corps of Engineers on the pass proposal, or whether the company was simply unable to finance the railroad. In any case, the project died. In the 1940s, a community of 160 houses was built by developer Clifford H. Meigs to house military officers. The town of Shalimar was incorporated in June 1947. The incorporation was directly related to state law that prohibited clubs in unincorporated areas from staying open from midnight Saturday until Monday morning, which would negatively impact the gambling operations at the casino of the Shalimar Club. The collapse of Okaloosa gambling was brought down by outside publicity and the direct intervention of Governor Fuller Warren. The Tampa Tribune's expose of gambling in Fort Walton with the 1949 article led to the governor suspending Okaloosa County Sheriff Enzor in 1950 for failure to enforce the state gambling laws. Gambling was on the way out, and soon even the Shalimar Club was turning to more legitimate forms of entertainment.
For many years afterwards, the Shalimar Club had been the host of many public and social events, including proms. Some of the original Shalimar building can still be seen today, although it's gone through several renovations and is home to several local businesses, including the Shalimar Cheers Pub. Other landmarks can still be seen, such as the original Choctahatchee High School building, which is now Meigs Middle School. And the Town Hall and Police Station are still in its original location, although the building had been recently renovated. The original docks and buildings of the Miracle Strip Marina are still in operation today, though it has gone through several name changes, including the Shalimar Yacht Basin and now the Two Georges Marina. Even some of the original homes built by Clifford Meigs for housing military officers are still standing, with a few minor modifications to accommodate larger families. However, other landmarks, such as the iconic Florida Drive-In Theater, had given away to modern times decades ago, and now a Raceway gas station and McDonald's restaurant are standing in its original location.
Clifford Meigs, founder of Shalimar, served as mayor from time of incorporation in 1947 to 1960.
Others who served in the capacity of mayor include Clifford Meigs' brother and his wife Sarah, who served following Clifford's death. Jim Trace was the first elected mayor in 1965. Kathleen Bowman was the first elected female in 1970. Harry Montague served between 1991 to 1999, and Gary Combs served between 1999 and 2019. He was succeeded by Mark Franks.
The government of Shalimar consists of a board of 5 elected and unpaid commissioners. These representatives oversee the work of the town administrator, deputy clerk, maintenance supervisor, and police chief. Turning to the town budget, most of the general fund is supported by ad valorem taxes, intergovernmental revenues and grants. It follows with utility taxes making up the 3rd highest portion of the funding. Law enforcement is the highest percentage of the expense, making up almost 50% of the annual budget. In 2018, the population for Shalimar was 814 people, and the median family income was $77,000. Clifford Meigs believed he was building a large retirement base when he started the town, and indeed one of the largest employers located just outside the town limits is the Air Force Enlisted Village.
It's interesting to note that most people think the town of Shalimar is larger than it actually is. You would think that the residents of Piquito Bayou, the Shalimar Golf Club, and even the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office is in Shalimar, and you would be correct from a postal standpoint. However, all the areas east of Eglin Parkway and north of Richborough Avenue are in the unincorporated areas of Shalimar and under the governmental jurisdiction of Okaloosa County, and not the town of Shalimar. So indeed, Shalimar is officially a small town, but the residents don't seem to mind the peacefulness and tranquility of life, surrounded by beautiful waters. Well, thank you for joining us with our Emerald Coast community. Erin, your first day on the job here on the set and doing your first interview. So how was it for you? It
was wonderful. I enjoy talking to people, knowing about more of what's going on in our community, and love hearing about the Chilli Cookoff coming up on February 23rd. People can buy their tickets in advance and save $5, or they can get it the day of, and it's at the Destin Commons this year. I'm really excited about learning about that, and as we move on with other things going on in our community.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing the cook-off there and checking that out as well.
Absolutely. And for you, RJ, how was your thing going on with the Leadership Okaloosa, and you did the Town of Shalimar?
Our team for the Leadership Okaloosa had the Town of Shalimar as our project, and being such a small community itself and getting a chance to see that most people don't know a lot about it. That's why we created the video that we showed on that segment, to kind of give people kind of a little bit of an insight of how the town works and where its origins came from and what they expect in the future here. So it was really neat to be able to do something like that, not only just as a one-time presentation for our Leadership Okaloosa Class project, but something that we can actually give to the town itself so that they can use it to kind of market themselves and inform people about the town of Shalimar. It's not just something to drive through, you know.
Yeah.
More to it.
Absolutely. I can't wait to, see it on TV and everything. I know my experience with Leadership Okaloosa was amazing, and finding out more about our community and utilizing your specialty with TV is definitely an asset, I'm sure, not only for leadership, but also for the town of Shalimar.
Absolutely. So, well, we'd like to go ahead and thank you for joining us on our Emerald Coast community, the show that highlights the businesses, organizations, and people that are making a difference in this community. And if you'd like to be a part of it or have some comments you'd like to be able to make, just go to emeraldcoasttv.com and contact us from there. In the meantime, until next time, see you later.